gathers in August with the same game plan to get into a bowl. 5 months later, it's that time. It is the celebration that kicks off the new year. Coach Jackie Sherrill leads the Mississippi State team to their third bowl game in 4 years. And the path is paved with power. North Carolina State style is one of speed and finesse. 7 bowls in 7 years, but never satisfied. This may be 1995, but the champagne will not pour for either of these two teams until one of them completes their 94 bowl agenda.
Here come the Bulldogs of Mississippi State from the Southeastern Conference. Hi, everybody. Joel Myers along with Todd Blackledge. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Georgia Dome for the 27th Annual Peach Bowl. Well, Todd, from a physical standpoint, a very difficult matchup tonight for Wolfpack of North Carolina State. First of all, how do you think they'll deal with it defensively?
Well, Joel, they don't have the bulk or the depth to just line up and slug it out with Mississippi State, so I expect to see them get aggressive, gang up around the line of scrimmage, try to attack the running game. Now, that presents another problem. Man-to-man coverage in the secondary, and folks, if you haven't seen wide receiver Eric Moulds of Mississippi State play, you are in for a treat. A budding superstar. Not only does he have the speed and explosion to blow by you and beat you deep, but at 6'3", 205 pounds, he also has the strength to break a lot of arm tackles, and he can very easily take a short pass and turn it into a long touchdown. In the last month of the season, no bigger big play receiver than Eric Moulds.
Now, the Wolfpack offensive unit can certainly take some pressure off the defensive unit with long, sustained drives, but first of all, they need a great game from quarterback Terry Harvey.
Yeah, Terry Harvey's a junior. He's got a lot of talent, and he has to play extremely well, working this offense, running the option, and also throwing the football. And I think he has to do 2 things. They have to sustain drives in order to rest their defense. When their defense comes off the field, they have to be able to spend some time there and really regroup. And secondly, they must protect the football. This team, Joel, is 8-3, but in the 3 games that they've lost, they turned the ball over 15 times. Cannot afford to do that against the Bulldogs tonight.
Glad you brought that up. So ball security of the utmost tonight for North Carolina State coming in. And here comes the pack. The Wolfpack out of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
The Bulldogs of Mississippi State, ranked number 18 of the country, against the 23rd ranked Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Welcome back once again, Joel Myers along with Todd Blackledge, and let's join the 3rd member of our team now. Can't do a game without the good doctor, can we? Down to Dr. Jerry Punch. Jerry?
Thank you very much, Joel, and Happy New Year, everyone. You know, the task for the NC State defense is a tall one, or should I say a wide one, given the massive weight differential between them and the Bulldog offensive line. But in what may have been the best-kept secret in Atlanta this week, the defensive task got a little bit tougher. They will be without their second leading tackler, free safety James Walker, who was suspended for 1 game due to a violation of team rules. And to soften Walker's loss, they will get Kenny Harris back. Harris has not played since breaking his arm in the 7th game of the season against North Carolina. He will play with a soft cast. You see on his right arm there, that is covering a steel plate and 2 screws that are holding his own with a small bone on his forearm together. But without Walker, the task for Mike O'Kane and the Wolfpack defense has just gotten a lot taller. Joel?
All right, Jerry. Well, it is going to be tough for Mike O'Kane, finishing up his 2nd season at North Carolina State. But not his 2nd season there. He's been there since '86 and as assistant under Dick Sheridan. And Jackie Sherrill in his 4th year at Mississippi State. Plenty of experience, though. 17th season overall as a head coach. Great years. You remember at Pitt, Texas A&M as well. And have now taken the Bulldogs to their 3rd bowl appearance over the last 4 years. Quite a run in Starkville for Jackie Sherrill. You're looking at the nation's kickoff return champion, Eric Moulds. When he brings it back, the average start of a drive at the 42. Others, not bad at all at 31, but still 42 is great field position.
Well, when you have a guy like that, even if you try to kick it away, sometimes you end up hurting yourself your own kick coverage. I mean, he is a guy that you just have to decide how do you want to deal with. And I expect, even though Viditek has a great leg, I expect to see them maybe try a high kick, try to get the good coverage downfield with the good hang time on the kick, not let him get a running start, even maybe try to make one of the up guys field the football.
Steve Viditek kicks it away, and Moulds will let it go out of bounds at the 5. Now the option is, of course, with Mississippi State, they can take it to the 35 or a 5-yard mark off, but they'll take it to the 35 and they'll have it 1st and 10. The offensive look, we start with the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Co-MVP offensively, Fred McCrary. Great blocker, but his offensive coordinator told us they want to hit him with passes early in the contest in the flat. Chris Jones, the wide receiver, the junior from Tupelo, up and down season according to his coach, but really came on down the stretch. And on the offensive line, Jason Wisner goes at 325, 6'3". Tuesday, I think he was ready when he challenged the Atlanta Falcons to a game. There's some serious beef up front for Mississippi State. Their quarterback Tate throwing on first down, and he's got that man available. On first down right away, going to Fred McCrary's zone. The coach was true to his word. Bruce Arians told us the offensive coordinator wanted to get into the hands of McCrary. Eric Counts, the strongest one up front for North Carolina State. He is their left tackle. Defensively for the Wolfpack, as we look at the linebackers, Covington, the senior from Berlin, New Jersey, first team All-ACC in each of the last 2 seasons. And the shakeup in the secondary because of the suspension of James Walker. So Ricky Bell started every game on the corner, now moving over to strong safety. That means Dre Major is going to move up with his first start of the year at the corner spot. Tate looking to throw again after nice play action. Look at this. Watkins gets it this time, and he's the other co-MVP offensively. So right away, they reward their 2 MVPs with the first 2 balls of the game.
And one thing I've learned right now is when Bruce Arians says something, we can certainly believe it. He said it. He wanted to get both of those guys the football early in the game. Watkins only had 5 catches coming into this ball game. He said that he wanted to get 5 catches for him tonight. Again, the running game is the threat. You fake the run and come out on the bootleg. Tate has great mobility, and a nice job by Watkins, the big blocker, catching the ball with his hands.
2nd and 2. Michael Davis, the single set. 2 tight end formation, and they want to throw it again, and they find Watkins again. First down inside the Wolfpack 35. He said he wanted to get at least 5 balls into the hands of Kendall Watkins to reward the senior from Jackson, Mississippi for all he's done for the team. So it's a 3rd and long situation. The ultimate is the defensive coordinator, Ken Pettis from North Carolina State, told us he wanted to gamble early on 1st and 2nd down to put them in long yardage situations on 2nd and 3rd.
And this is not the strength of the Mississippi State offense here when they get into the 3rd down shotgun situation. This big offensive line is much better when they're all bunched in together, not in this pass drop situation.
Out of the shotgun, pressure on Tate, and overthrows Moulds. Takes a shot from William Strong at the end of the play that'll send a message for later in the game, obviously. Pressure on Tate once again as well.
Take a look at Carl Reeves as he's going to come from the right of your screen. He works to the inside, and he runs right past the right guard, Purvis Hunt. Now, Purvis Hunt is sitting in there at 360 pounds. Carl Reeves is very, very fast. He's got to be alert for that inside stunt and hold his position. Purvis Hunt, that is.
Tim Rogers with a 37-yard field goal try on its way, and just inside the upright. The Jackie Sherrill's Bulldogs of Mississippi State with an early lead. Not even 2.5 minutes into the game, they take it from their own 35 and get 3 to take the lead over North Carolina State. So now, North Carolina State ready to get it for the first time, and into the end zone it goes. There's no return available. Whitted was back there, Mateer, and Russ really got into it. Offensively, Tremaine Stevens, a true freshman from Greer, South Carolina. He started only 5 times this year, 2nd team All-ACC, yet he still led the Wolfpack in rushing. The flanker, Adrian Hill, he's got to step it up because of the injury to Eddie Goins. Their leading receiver lost the last 3 games of the season with a knee injury. And Chris Henny Road, the left tackle, the senior from Florida, a bright young man, 3.5 grade point average in biological sciences. Offensive look at North Carolina State. Terry Harvey, their quarterback. Dacula, Georgia. Throwing on first down. He's got a man, and he's got a first down. Mike Guffey all the way out to the 39.
Both teams coming out early trying to throw the football, and Terry Harvey, when he is in rhythm, and when he gets back and sets his feet and throws in rhythm, he is very accurate. You can see a nice drop, good pass protection. He's able to set his feet and makes the strong throw to the sideline right between 2 Mississippi State defenders. A nice
first 3rd down try of the day for North Carolina State is a 3rd and 4 from their own 45. Can they capitalize on the field position now? Stevens into the secondary. Weaving magic to the 42. These two crowds from the two schools have been a lot of fun. Have been into it ever since they walked into this building.
Take a look at the vision again of Tremaine Stevens as he sees the block set up. A great cut there. He got a great block by his fullback on the middle linebacker, Curry. And then once he's past the first line of defense, he's into the secondary. Watch Curry. This is their run stopper. And watch the collision. Folks, we're going to see that all night. Fullback against middle linebacker, Dwayne Curry.
Thank you, Rod Brown, the fullback. First and 10 outside of the 42. They love to run the option. Stevens tries to bend it to the boundary, and he does so successfully. He's got another first down inside the 30 with a flag down at the end of the play on a late hit. Near the 25 and tack on a few more. 17 yards on that carry.
On that play, cornerback Charlie Davidson, number 5, got a wake-up call as to the speed and acceleration of Tremaine Stevens. Watch Davidson, number 5, just totally misinterpret or underestimate the speed of Stevens as he turned the corner on him so easily. Davidson's got to put that in his memory bank and say, hey, look, this guy's got some speed. You got to give him a little bit of an angle when you're trying to tackle him on the perimeter.
And then you saw at the end of the play the shot from the strong safety, Johnny Harris, well out of bounds, half the distance. So they take it inside the 13 where it's first and 10.
Mississippi State is a very aggressive defensive football team, but they've been penalized 95 times coming into this game. That's their 96th penalty on the year. That was the 11th worst statistic in the SEC. So overly aggressive at some point.
They go with the wing back in a single set, and they run the reverse on the pitch. Adrian Hill down to the 10. Where will they give him a 9? It's a little misdirection on that toss. You'll see that from North Carolina State with the way they like to run the option.
They're showing a little bit of their entire package in this opening drive, and that's exactly what Mike O'Kane and offensive coordinator Ted Kane, the guy you see behind him there with the headsets, that's what they want to do in this opening drive. Show them the option, show them the drop back throw, show them the play action, and show them the power football with the fullback or the tailback lead. I mean, that's what you hope to do ideally in your opening series. Show them a little bit of everything, make them defend your whole package.
Mississippi State with a 3-0 lead on a 37-yard field goal, but now North Carolina State, their first possession, the fullback Brown, not much available. On second and just about 7, takes it down to the 8, so another third down coming up for the Wolfpack offense. You know what I really enjoyed hearing from head coach Mike O'Kane, and right when we sat down with him, he said, it's a very courageous team. They're not a huge team, but they may be a group that has played as close to their potential as much as any team that he's ever been around.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like to use the term overachievers. He says rather than say it that way, I'd rather say that they've come very close to meeting their potential. I think that's a real good way of phrasing that, and this team plays exceptionally hard for their head coach.
They go trips to the far side for Terry Harvey. On a third and just about 6. Need to take it inside the 3, close to the 2 for the first down. Harvey with time and a wide open receiver. Grissom at the 5. Will he get to the marker? Yes! Jimmy Grissom, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. And Andre Bennett, the free safety, stopping him just short of the goal line.
Nice job by Terry Harvey neutralizing the crowd noise. They're going into the Mississippi State end zone, so he just used the foot signal to get the shotgun snap. He stays in the pocket, and watch the strength of Grissom at the end of the play. Make the first guy miss, and then break 2 tackles, and there's the enthusiasm of the head guy, Mike O'Kane.
Trips in the backfield. Stevens, the deep back. Harvey looking to throw. Wide open. He's got a man and overthrows in the end zone. Mark Thomas, freshman tight end out of Smithfield, North Carolina. Like the call, though.
A nice call, but what hurt Harvey was 2 of his receivers were actually running to the same spot. When you run the play action down inside the goal line, you want one guy to come flat and go right along the goal line and the other guy to go to the back of the end zone. They didn't have the proper spacing on that play. It was a great call, but the execution wasn't there.
Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator. And Mike O'Kane, he liked the call. He thought they had it. Second and goal from outside the 1. They run the option. It's Tremaine Stevens, and North Carolina State is on the board.
Watch as the option comes down the line. Watch the block by Carlos King, 39. Right there on Charlie Davidson, enables his tailback, Tremaine Stevens, to take it into the end zone. A beautifully executed option play and an outstanding drive for Terry Harvey in the Wolfpack offense.
Steve Viditek, two-time All-ACC place kicker, makes it a 4-point advantage for the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. 9:21 left in the opening 15 minutes of play. A wild one early. 27th annual Peach Bowl. Coach O'Kane liked it just a little bit. Both teams scoring on their opening drives. 80 yards traveled that time by the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. You see the mix of pass and run, and the touchdown. Tremaine Stevens. Not a bad average. 9 yards per pop. In his 5 starts, he had better than 100 yards in 4 of those 5.
And he showed a little bit of everything. He ran the sprint draw, he ran the power lead play, and he also took the pitch on the option. So he did a little bit of everything in that drive.
They kick it away from Moulds. It'll be the key coming back. And the key is popped. He gets it back to the 20-yard line. Downfield first. It was Kit Carpenter, freshman inside linebacker out of Dalton, Georgia, making the play. And what a throw for that young man growing up close to Atlanta with a big special teams tackle. 6 of the first 10 plays, passes, and Tate looking to set up the screen, finds Bowie. Bowie, what a tough runner. Out to a first down across the 45. Did it all after the catch. 11 yards on the reception as Counts gets up slowly.
You're going to see a picture right now of how strong these backs are for Mississippi State, because Kevin Bowie is going to catch this screen pass, and the best tackler on North Carolina State's team is Damian Covington. Now watch him run right through the tackle of number 36, Damian Covington. He breaks 4 tackles on that play, but most significantly, he breaks the tackle of Covington, and Covington doesn't miss too many men.
Take now 5 of 7 to the passing department. Huge hole for Bowie. Up the middle, he goes for another first down to the 39. Well, that was a concern, but the offensive line was going to blow over some huge holes.
Nice job by Bruce Arians. The first series, they came out and loosened up the defense, throwing the football, and now they come back to their what they like to do. Here's Covington in the middle. Watch him as he tries to fill on the left side, and as he faces this big blocking wall of people, the center just kind of makes Covington take a false step.
2nd and goal outside the 8. 4.5 minutes left in the first 15 minutes of play. The delay, and Davis belted from behind, or make it Bowie rather. Bowie taken down at the 6. Ken Pettis, the defensive coordinator, felt like he had to gamble to have any kind of shot early.
Take a look at Carl Reeves on the lower left of your screen. Here he is right here. Watch him fight off the block as he comes upfield. They're going to run the counter trap at him. He's going to take on the block, shed 2 blocks, and still get a hand on the tackle. That is tremendous leverage defense by Carl Reeves. He's much smaller than the guys that they sent to block him, but he stayed low, kept under their pads, was able to make the play.
In the red zone, 36-45 from Mississippi State.
Watch the jump ball to Eric Moulds in the corner.
Working out of the shotgun. Here it comes, 3rd and goal. And Tate calling his own number. And it won't work. Kenny Harris, who gets the start tonight. Walker over at free safety. Made that big hit at the 4. Take a listen to this hit from the sideline. This crowd is really into the game early. So many people made the trip from Carolina and Mississippi. Tim Rogers accounting for the only point so far for Mississippi State. Came in 12 of 20 on the year. This is like an extra point. And it's good from 21. Jackie Sherrill's side down by only a point now with 2:57 left in the first quarter of Peach Bowl 95. 76 yards, but frustrated again, and not a great percentage. We saw that red zone number, 26 touchdowns and 45 tries inside the red zone as Russ sent it to the end zone. Now Mateer will bring it back, this time from the 6. And Mateer with a good return out to the 29. As we go back downstairs, and Jerry Punch. Jerry.
Guys, not real good news for the Wolfpack here as far as defensively is concerned. They have one of their starting tackles. Mike Harrison is on the sideline being taped. He sprained his ankle on that 3rd and goal situation a moment ago. There's Harrison sitting on the bench being taped by Mark Boatwright. Now, on the 3rd and short situation, also Eric Counts, the biggest guy that got defensively, came off holding his left shoulder. Now, Counts is expected to go back in, but apparently he has a chronically subluxating or dislocating left shoulder. He was in a lot of pain about 5 minutes ago. Back upstairs.
All right, Jerry, we talked about at the very top of the telecast how physically demanding it was going to be for North Carolina State, and it's already taking its toll. The play fake. And what a beauty for Terry Harvey. Going for Hill. And it's incomplete. The official very emphatic with the call.
And so was Jackie Sherrill.
He made the call earlier than the official.
He was right on that one. He was not going to allow that one to be called a completion.
And that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. What a wild beginning to this contest. Plenty of offense from both sides, and unfortunately for North Carolina State, the shoulder injury to their leading rusher, Tremaine Stevens. 1-point lead for North Carolina State at the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 13 now. The strong arm Terry Harvey. He's out of the shotgun with 3 wide receivers working. And he's got pressure from the backside. Going back the other way. Guffey loses it. Even if he gets it back, though, he lost the first down, and he had the first down at the 25 before the ball popped free.
You're right. He had the first down before the hit knocked the ball loose, and now on the recovery, they're going to be short by about 1.5 yards. Great play by Terry Harvey, just buying himself a little extra time. You don't like to see your quarterback make a steady diet of throwing across his body, but watch him as he eludes pressure in the pocket, just steps away from the oncoming rush and then whips it back across his body. A perfect throw to Guffey. Right there he had the first down, but a big hit coming out of the backfield by James Holloway jars the ball loose.
It's going to be a 45-yard field goal try for one of the very best place kickers in the country. The senior from Winston-Salem, Scott, I think it's Steve Vidatek. He's got plenty of foot into it. And it's good. Vidatek on target. He is now 17 of 19 on the season. And it's a 4-point lead for the Wolfpack.
You get the guy in the ball game because even though he warmed up before the game, it's still different. Game speed is different. He gets a taste of it early.
They pin Moulds to the boundary. Let's see what he can do with it from the 5. The kickoff return champion is buried by the same man who got him earlier. Kid Carpenter, the redshirt freshman from Dalton, Georgia. Here comes Darren Clark, 6 foot, 190-pound junior. Threw 17 balls this year. And 3 of the 10 he completed went for scores. Not a bad ratio. 13-17 left in the opening half. A 10-6 lead for North Carolina State. The wide receiver in motion. And Davis hit early. Contact and penetration there. Ricky Bell in on the stop. The sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina.
I wouldn't be surprised now with the quarterback switch that North Carolina State would really sell out to the line of scrimmage and really try to stop the running game, try to get a 3 and out. Clark coming off the bench, I'm sure they don't think of him as a guy that's going to be able to throw the ball against them as well as Derek Tate has early in this ball game. Look for him to maybe try to get the ball to the tailback, Kemper McGee, number 21. It's a redshirt freshman they bring in on 3rd down situations.
Pressure, they set up the screen. It is McGee, and he breaks the tackle for the first down. Down the sideline he goes. As Ricky Bell pops him out of the 25. 44 yards on the pass and the run. What a
Great
call.
way to take off pressure off of your quarterback. You just slip the tailback out. He's showing block, but he's going to him all the way. He eludes 1 tackle, and then you can see the open field running ability that McGee has. That's why they like to get him in the ballgame. He's not going to get to run much in their normal offense with Bowie and Davis, so they bring him in on 3rd down and like to throw him the football. Watch Carl Reeves working on the outside against Jesse James. They just take him out around the pocket in time for the completion.
So first down at the 25 of North Carolina State. A big hole over the left side for Michael Davis. He gets 6 on first down. And that's what they have to shut down is the big yardage on first down. They need to force Mississippi State into 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8 situations. They have not been able to accomplish that all that often so far.
We talked about Fred McCrary and what kind of a blocker he is. Take a look on the fullback. Just kind of doesn't get a physical block there, but he gets in the right position, and he keeps the outside linebacker, Ed Gallen, from making the play.
Well, Mississippi State has been able to move the ball on all 3 of their possessions tonight. They have stalled, though, deep inside North Carolina State territory every time. There's McCrary. And the fullback is a yard short of the first down to the 16. Not a very complicated scheme right now for Jackie Sherrill's group.
And see, this is the beauty of the philosophy of bringing your backup quarterback in. Right now, Darren Clark is very comfortable in the game. It wasn't a 3-and-out series. They were able to make some plays. Now, he's very comfortable. So when he goes back to the sideline, he will have gotten hit a couple times. He will have played at game speed. And if anything would happen to Derek Tate later in the game, he's already been in there. He knows what the game's all about. So this is a great move for that young man.
You brought up the key phrase, though. Game speed.
That's right.
No substitute for that. Here we go on 3rd and a yard. Can they keep the drive alive? Eric Moulds in motion. It's Davis. He's got that first down to the 11-yard line. So Mississippi State making it all the way back from 1st and 25, their own 19. Now has it 1st and 10 outside of the 11 of North Carolina State.
They're running behind the left side, behind Jesse James, the left tackle, and the fullback, their lead blocker. There he is, Fred McCrary. Watch as they lead this play to the left, behind the big tight end Watkins and Jesse James. There's McCrary right at the point of attack, working on Ed Gallen again. And I'll tell you what, McCrary, you've got to stay low to take on that block.
Single says they put McCrary in a wingback. Is Davis. He stays in for the entire drive. He'll get it with good penetration. And they put down short of the 10 for a gain of only a yard. Some of the best penetration we've seen so far from the defensive front of North Carolina State. Ed Gallen, the outside linebacker, one of the first ones in there for defensive coordinator Ken Pettis. Is he ever doing the job on the sideline right now?
Yeah, the Bulldogs,
like he's already played.
Bulldogs tried to go with the counter trap play that time. They pulled the backside tackle in the center, but the way to offset that play is you got to get penetration into the backfield, and the Wolfpack were able to do that and really disrupt the timing on that play.
The Bulldogs have stalled now in the previous 2 drives. They're looking at a 2nd and 9. Mississippi State already with 105 yards rushing. Davis following his blocking, breaking tackles. He's in. Touchdown, Mississippi State. Good blocking by the wide receiver on that play.
Take a look at Moulds. They like to put him in motion down in the red zone, and he's a big, strong guy, 6'3", 205 pounds. He just gets enough of a block to allow his tailback Davis to come to the inside and get in the end zone.
Tim Rogers in for the point after you tried. Finally, Mississippi State on their 3rd drive of the contest gets into the end zone. A 10-yard run for Michael Davis. And the Bulldogs have to lead once again by 3 with 7:29 left in the first half. 78 yards on the drive, and don't forget what Ken Pettis really wanted, a 1st and 25. Mississippi State battled back from at their own 19-yard line with that big 3rd down draw or screen that was not much of a screen play. So now Russell kick it away. It'll be taken by Whitted. He's a track man. He's run a 10.13, 100 meters, an NC State record. He's throttled that time, though, at the 28. Still solid field position for North Carolina State. The 3rd time now they've had the ball. And we're going to see the backup quarterback for State. I guess I can't say State the rest of the night, can I? For North Carolina State, that is Jeff Bender taking over. He's the senior from Pittsburgh. Goes at 6'4", 210 pounds. He's got great size. Red to our right, maroon to our left. So many fans from both schools here at the Georgia Dome. They run Bridget in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Time for Harvey, but he's hit as he released it. And Wesley Lisi forced that play, the outside linebacker. pressure from the outside.
Take a look at Lisi. Here he is down at the bottom. Watch him get the quick upfield rush as he works against the right tackle. That's Heath Woods. Just too quick for Woods. Woods does a nice job not giving up on the play, but Lisi really took a good angle to the quarterback, got in and disrupted that throw.
Now it goes back to a situation of Bender not trying to force the play and also trying to avoid a sack. So Viditic can get on and at least tie it up with 17 seconds left in the half. This is a 3rd and 10 coming up at the 19.
He's got the one timeout, so even if he throws it in the middle of the field and it doesn't get to the end zone, he's okay.
And they get heat on the quarterback once again. And Harvey threw it away. Or check that, Jeff Bender, of course, threw it away. The backup quarterback. Good decision, though, with early pressure.
Jeff Bender may not have the same skills and abilities that Terry Harvey has in terms of being a thrower, but he's a good leader, and for the most part he has made good decisions during his 4-year career. That time it wasn't open. He made the smart move. Throw it away, let your kicker come in and tie the ball game up for halftime.
It is going to be a 36-yard try for Steve Viditic. He's already hit from 45 yards away. He's 17 of 19 on the year now. The hold of Addis. They almost got a piece of it, but Viditic ties it up. It's all even at 13. Now let's check in with Chris Fowler for the Duracell halftime reports. Welcome back once again to the 95 Peach Bowl game. All even after the first 30 minutes of play between the Bulldogs of Mississippi State and the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Welcome back once again to the Georgia Dome. Joel Myers along with Todd Blackledge. Plenty of offense early. In fact, first 5 possessions between the two teams, 3 for Mississippi State and 2 for North Carolina State. They found points.
Yeah, both teams did a nice job balancing, throwing and running. Interestingly enough, in the first half, Mississippi State threw the ball for more yards than North Carolina State did. I expect that to change in the second half.
Tough first half, though, for Mississippi State. They're going to look back on missed opportunities, especially when they got down to the red zone early.
Yeah, well, that's been the trademark of North Carolina State's defense. They bend, but they don't break. Take a look at this play inside the 10-yard line. Little razzle-dazzle option. Get the quarterback on the corner, but a great tackle by the strong safety, Kenny Harris, starting his first game in a while. Good, sure tackling inside the 10-yard line. For Mississippi State, Eric Moulds did not have a real busy half in terms of catching the football, but he was still involved in their offense. Watch as he gets a key block on the outside on the touchdown run by Michael Davis. So Eric Moulds is a guy that really has to get more involved. Bruce Arians will, I'm sure that he will find a way to get him the football. So take a look at the numbers, pretty even. The one turnover, we talked about North Carolina State not being able to turn the ball over. They really dodged a bullet after the Bender interception.
But as you said, the most surprising aspect when we look at those numbers, more passing yardage from Mississippi State than North Carolina State over the first 30 minutes of play.
And Terry Harvey really threw the ball pretty well when he was in the ball game. He was 5 of 7 in that first half. Jeff Bender was 3 of 7 with the 1 interception. So I would expect to see Terry Harvey get a lot more of the work here in the second half for the Wolfpack.
We are ready now for the start of the second half of the 95 Peach Bowl game. What an entertaining first 30 minutes of play as Mateer is back deep once again. And they're going to bring it out, surprisingly. It won't be brought out. Another mistake. Indecision at the outset for Whitted, the freshman speedster, the former track star. Stevens on the quick toss, following the block of the fullback Brown, but not much available across the 33. They'll give him the 34 for a gain of 3. And a look at the numbers in the chart for Tremaine Stevens.
Well, as you can see, it's pretty balanced. They worked both sides of the offensive line with Tremaine Stevens. And the best news for Michael Cain and all Wolfpack fans all over the place is that these numbers are not final for the evening. He just added one more, and hopefully he'll be able to play the rest of this ball game.
Nominal true freshman out of Greer, South Carolina. Opening minute of the second half, tied at 13. The fullback this time, Brown breaking tackles, did a good job to get positive yardage out of that. It looked like he was going to be dropped right at the line. The sophomore from Lithonia, Georgia, spun free all the way to the 39, short of the first down still by a couple, though.
You could see Dwayne Curry, the middle linebacker, encouraging rather forcefully the rest of the front four for Mississippi State's defense. And, you know, it's amazing to see him as a sophomore be such a vocal leader on this defense. You don't start as a true freshman at middle linebacker in the Southeastern Conference if you're not a tough dude. Dwayne Curry is one tough customer, 2-year starter at a very difficult position.
So now 3rd and 2. They double up the wide receivers to the far side. And the option for Stevens. Will it get there? No. Slowed down to the quarterback clearance, and Gamina finished it off. Good tag team play there.
Great job defending the option by Mississippi State. When you defend the option, it's all about assignment. Somebody has the back, somebody has the quarterback, and then you have to defend the pitch. Great job by Walt Harris keeping outside leverage, not letting the play get outside him. Curry, he had the quarterback, forces the quick pitch to Terry Harvey, and then just a little twist to the headgear there at the end of the play, just to let him know that he doesn't appreciate him running that option.
It's your first punt of the game. You missed the first half. You missed a lot of entertaining offensive plays. As Robson's in, and Robson's got problems as it's blocked. Blocked by Bennett. It's loose in the end zone. And it looked like the Bulldogs came up with it. The free safety, Andre Bennett, blocked it. Touchdown, Mississippi State, making a safety. It was actually recovered. What a play back there by Adrian Hill to cover the ball and save a certain 6 points.
Well, you're right, Joel. That is a heads-up play by Adrian Hill, but a great play for the special teams of Mississippi State as they really tracked down on that block punt. Take a look. It's right here, the second guy on the inside. That's who's going to make the play. Andre Bennett, the starting free safety, slips right in between. They actually got pressure from 3 guys, but he was able to get the direct route to the throw, or to the punt. Now watch Hill. Just a heads-up play covering this football. Actually had it, lost it. Take a look again as we see Bennett slip to the inside. It was a high snap. That threw off the timing of the punt, and a great inside move by Andre Bennett.
And actually, I think Todd, the punter, Robson came back to help out and get it.
Hill had it at first, and then Robson came back. So good heads-up play by him.
Now a 2-point lead for Mississippi State. Great work on the special teams from Jackie Sherrill's side. You have to think, because it is a free kick, Robson can keep it away from Moulds. Sends it over to the near side. It is going to be taken by McGee. McGee had that big play in the first half on the screen, and a big play starting the second half. There goes McGee. All the way down to the 14. 51 yards on the return by Kevin McGee.
Coming into the ballgame, it appeared, at least on paper, that North Carolina State had the better kicking teams than Mississippi State, but 2 plays in a row by the special teams. Big plays for Mississippi State. Watch McGee go into the pack and then bust out. It shows the acceleration on the outside as he outruns the punter Robson and picks up a couple blocks down along the sideline. You think the job is done when you keep it away from Moulds, but then another guy comes back and makes the play.
They run Moulds in motion on first down, leading by 2, and a dead ball foul coming up. It'll go against the offense, but what a way to start the second half for your offensive unit to put them in that kind of field position.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense.
Banged up group defensively. The last thing they could afford in the secondary. Bowling his way down to the 12 is Michael Davis, the senior from Morton, Mississippi. He got 8 on the carry. First and 15.
Well, Jerry just mentioned Damian Covington. Watch again as he's trying to slip past the block of the center, Brian Anderson, and Anderson is just kind of baiting him into that move. He's allowing him to take that one step, inviting him to go one way, then he's taking himself out of the play, and there again you see the strength and the power of Michael Davis when he gets past that first line of defense. He is a very difficult man to bring down.
8 on first down. Davis again. Great penetration that time by Damian Covington. He torpedoed that play early. The senior from Berlin, New Jersey. Bit of a first-team All-ACC performer in each of the last 2 seasons.
Oh, and Doctor mentioned he just got another cast put on his hand. Did you see how he made that tackle? Didn't even try to wrap up with the hands or the arms. He went right with the shoulder and knocked the legs out. Watch Covington on this tackle. Nice form tackling Davis low.
Now we talked about the red zone earlier for Mississippi State. They started inside the 15. Now they're looking at 3rd and 7 at the 12.
Got to find Eric Moulds if you're Derek Tate on this.
Tate buying some time as he's flushed out. Looking to go back the other way and batted away from the intended target. They wanted Fred McCrary, the fullback. Good coverage by North Carolina State as their defense holds.
Jackie Sherrill's telling Derek Tate right there to run the football. When you get out on that corner, run the football. But Derek, he's got to find Eric Moulds. There he is working one-on-one against Dre Major. I take my chances with that matchup. I mean, he's 6'3", he's 205 pounds. Get him the football, let him try to break that one tackle and get the ball into the end zone. He's too good a player to not get him the football in that situation.
Jim Rogers, 2 for 3 so far. This is a 29-yard attempt. And he's got it. So now a 5-point advantage for Mississippi State. 10:45 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back to the 95 Peach Bowl. The Underground is alive and well in Atlanta, and so is the Peach Bowl game. Welcome back once again. Joel Myers, Todd Blackledge, and Dr. Jerry Punch. And Todd, you were just talking about that matchup, Dre Major against Eric Moulds, something they're going to have to exploit. Major making his first start of the season due to the injuries and also the suspension of James Walker in the secondary. But that's something we'll look for down the road offensively for Mississippi State to exploit. Major, a senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, is a former walk-on. Yeah. Basically a special teams player his first couple of years, backed up last year, backed up this year, a real hard worker. We'll see if they try to capitalize on that situation. The kickoff from Russ. It'll be taken by Albus Whitting at the goal line. He is horse-collared down as he lost the ball, but they're going to say he's down already. Block on. 2nd and 16, back at the 30. The play fake for Stevens. What a pop. The ball is free. Larry Williams coming up with the sack and the fumble recovery. What a play by Williams. They're deep defensively, and that's the perfect example.
Well, you hate to single any one particular guy out, but Heath Woods, the right tackle, is going to get beat here. This is Larry Williams, their best pass rusher, and he's going to be working one-on-one on the right tackle, Heath Woods, and Woods just doesn't move his feet enough. Terry Harvey was looking to his left. He didn't have time to get rid of the football, and just a great upfield pass rush by Larry Williams, a junior college guy who has really come on later in the season for the Bulldogs.
Starting now at the NC State 22. Last time they had it at the 14. Tate looking to throw. Going for Moulds. He's got him. And just past his fingertips. They've got to capitalize this time and get it into the end zone. Wasted opportunities right now for the Bulldogs. They only lead it by 5.
See, they went with the out and up to Moulds. The only problem with this is they haven't thrown the quick pass to him yet. They tried to go with the quick hitch and go, and it didn't fool the defender at all. William Strong was right on the coverage. It had to be a perfect throw to get the touchdown, but you know, normally you throw that hitch and go after you've hit the hitch in front of the cornerback a couple times.
All year long, Mississippi State has been an opportunistic bunch. They have capitalized on the turnovers that they have forced. Not so far tonight in this 95 Peach Bowl game. 9.5 minutes left in the 3rd. They're going to ground with Bowie. What a pull. Broke the tackle to the backfield and takes it down to the 19 for a gain of about 2.5. We check in once again with Dr. Jerry Punch. Jerry?
Guys, following the previous Mississippi State possession when they did not score in the red zone, they came over to the sidelines, and Eric Moulds spent the entire time on the headset talking upstairs with wide receiver coach Rick Christoffel. Now, Christoffel must have been giving Moulds an earful. All Moulds was saying was, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So apparently they have told Moulds he has got to be a factor down here in the red zone. Look for him to go to them again, possibly on the fade. Back up there.
Here they go, Jerry, 3rd and 8. Moulds over to the wide side of the field. Jones over to the near side. Tate with plenty of time. Coming back for Jones. Too wide.
And again, I know I'm saying this again. Eric Moulds is going to get frustrated in this ball game now. He just ran a crossing route, and he was open. It was underneath the coverage. It wasn't the deep throw into the end zone, but he was open and could have turned this into a big play. Watch as he crosses the defense. You've got to give him the football. Derek Tate tried to go for the touchdown, the big play, but that is the guy who has to have the football in his hands if you're Mississippi State.
Tim Rogers now 3 for 4. This is going to be a 36-yard try. Plenty of foot into it. Is it inside the upright? Yes. He has been a key contributor today, as they have failed to capitalize on so many opportunities deep in North Carolina State territory, but still an 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Andy Russ, the punter, kicks it away. It'll be taken by one of the up men at the 25. And bringing it back for the Wolfpack that time, it was a reserve tight end, Jason McGeorge, a sophomore from Gainesville, Florida.
It's not really been because he's been double covered or really taken out of the ball game. It's just a matter of they've got to make a conscious decision to throw him the football.
Single sentence, Carlos King. They should have blitzed from the linebacker and back off the last second. Over the middle it goes, and it's complete for the reserve tight end, Mark Thomas. He's the backup, the true freshman. It's inside the 45 to the 44, a gain of 9 on the catch. They wanted to redshirt that young man, but due to injuries, they were forced to play him this year.
Nice job. What they did, they put the tight end in here to just kind of put another body next to the tackle. As Williams comes across on the pass rush, at least there was a tight end there to start the play. It enabled the lineman to get a better pass block on Larry Williams. Nice call by Ted Kane to put a tight end on that formation on the third down play.
Stevens back in there. They give it to fullback Brown. There he goes. And he's just short of the first down by a little less than a yard. That worked early in the contest as well in the first half. Being so much on Stevens, Brown was available, and right now Dr. Jerry Punch is available. Jer?
Guys, senior offensive tackle Chris Henry rode behind me. He had both shoulders reconstructed last February. He has what they call multi-directional instability. That means the shoulders sort of come in and go out. That's what happened a moment ago. His right shoulder subluxed or partially dislocated. Now what they're going to do, they have it back in place. He's going to sit on the bench for about 10 minutes and possibly be able to get back in early in the fourth quarter.
Back up 6.
All right, Jerry right now, senior from Conover, North Carolina. Scott Woods has taken over. It's Brown again. They get the first down. Good surge by the offensive line as he goes inside the 31.
We talked about how certain guys from Mississippi State on their D-line were better run stoppers and some were better pass rushers. Larry Williams is a pass rusher. Now they get 2 big offensive linemen on him and they drive him about 7 yards off the play. With him in the ballgame in the run situations, pretty good decision to run at him. He's better when he's rushing the passer and has a chance to use his quickness and speed up the field.
Defensive coordinator Bill Clay. Larry Williams, most likely the most improved lineman, though, throughout the course of the season for the Bulldogs. The pitch for Stevens. Gave the dip inside, went outside, and got just about 5 on a nifty move.
And a nice block on the outside by Greg Addis, the wide receiver. That was one of the few times that these wide receivers have been able to lock up on a defensive corner out there and secure the outside for the tailback on the pitch.
Another freshman doing a good job downfield.
Take a look at the end of the play. Addis is off the block there, but he was on it long enough for Stevens to turn the corner and pick up 6 yards.
So now 2nd and 5 outside of the 25. Inside of 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And Harvey changes the play at the line. Stevens down to the 23, give him the 22 where he's wrapped up by first team All-SEC performer Dwayne Curry.
Dwayne Curry had 10 tackles his last game against Ole Miss. That was 6 straight games to end the season with 10 or more tackles. I mean, he is not only is he talented as a young player, but he's been consistent. He understands the game. He understands offensive formations and plays. He reads things very well. And Jackie Sherrill says, you know, he may get beat one play, but if you try to run it a second time, he'll be there to make the tackle. He learns very quickly on the move.
Huge third down now for the Wolfpack offense. They're down by 8. 3rd and a long 2. Stevens left side diving for the first down inside the 20. He's got amazing vision and maturity for a freshman. Knew where he needed to go. A lot of people would have tried to stay on their feet, but he just wanted to make sure he got the extra couple for the first down.
This is excellent surge and a great block by the fullback, Rod Brown. We've seen a lot of collisions tonight with him and Curry. Watch Rod Brown stick the helmet right in the chest plate of Dwayne Curry, and then Stevens is able to sail over the top for the first down.
And even 100 now for Stevens. First and 10 outside of the 18. They trip up. The fullback, Brown. The little belly dive series has worked a couple of times on this drive, but not that time. Only good for a gain of 2.
Tripped up over the left guard, Steve Keim. Little miscommunication, some penetration by the Mississippi State defense, and Keim got his leg knocked down there and tripped up the fullback. But
busy night for the young man from the Atlanta suburb, Rod Brown. Involved in the first half. A lot here in this drive in the second half.
It's a good place to maybe look for the tight end on a play action pass. They haven't thrown to him in the middle of the field recently.
The pitch is on the ground. Stevens trying to reverse his field. Gamina forced him wide. They put him down inside the 18.
Stevens did 2 things very well there. The first thing he did was he found the football, he kept his composure, and he made the clean handle of it off the turf on the bad pitch by the quarterback. Second thing, when he reversed his field and got to the other side, he slipped between 2 defenders and was able to actually get close to making a yard or 2. Take a look at him as he cleanly picked up the ball. Now watch at the end of the play. He shifts the ball to his outside arm. Now he knows here this play is dead, but he's still able to go forward as he goes down to the ground. He didn't give up the big loss.
It brings up a 3rd and 9 now. They go trips to the wide side of the field, and Harvey is going to operate out of the shotgun with Stevens on the bench. Only Carlos King in the backfield. With Brissett in motion. And available real estate to the left side. Will they get there? What a move by Harvey to the 5. Sheer determination for 13 yards. And the Bulldogs can't believe it.
Anytime a quarterback sees man-to-man coverage, watches these linebackers run out, the defensive people all run, he knows he's going to have an open lane against man-to-man coverage. Everything's covered downfield, but everybody clears out. They pick up a man, they run with people. There's a lot of green grass, and Terry Harvey makes a great decision.
In this quarter, 91 yards for North Carolina State to only 15 for Mississippi State. Total rushing yards so far. North Carolina State with a little bit more, 32, than Mississippi State. And Mississippi State, one of the best rushing teams in the nation.
Yeah, that number a little bit surprising, but North Carolina State doing a good job holding on to the football here. Long drive.
Harvey on the design roll. He's got his man Hill and overshoots it in the end zone as he got away from the cornerback Walt Harris and created that space. And now a 3rd and goal situation outside the 2. This drive started all the way back at the North Carolina State 31. And now what is Ted King going to call as we look back on that last play?
Terry Harvey, it looked to me like he was a little bit hesitant when he got outside to the corner. Wasn't sure whether to throw or run. Might have helped himself if he would just stopped and set his feet instead of trying to throw it with his whole body moving. The ball just kind of sailed on him as he threw it to the corner of the end zone.
Here comes his 16th play of the drive. Mississippi State by 8. Harvey going back to the tight end. Touchdown, North Carolina State. Dallas Dickerson. Going back against the flow. We've seen it earlier from North Carolina State, and it paid off there.
A lot of times the tight end just kind of gets lost in the shuffle there. You roll away from him, and then he kind of fakes a block and slips out to the backside. Good play call that time by Ted Kane going back to his tight end.
And now a 2-point conversion try coming up for the Wolfpack to try to tie things up. Brown is a single sack. Harvey keeps it on the option, and we're all even. he's a gamer. A 7.5-minute drive for North Carolina State ties it up at the 95 Peach Bowl.
Let's take a look at the touchdown again. Watch the action come out to the right. You see the tight end right across the middle of the screen. Dwayne Curry is pointing that somebody should pick him up, but the other linebacker, Mike James, got caught watching the quarterback, and nobody picked up the tight end. Now on the option. For the first time today, nobody comes and makes a play on the quarterback. You see Dwayne Curry got blocked, and Harvey does the right thing. He takes it to the inside, in for the two-point conversion. You know, Joel, the funny thing about this game right now is the way that the second half started with the big plays on the special teams, the feel was that Mississippi State was starting to take control of the game. However, when you have to settle for field goals on a consistent basis, this is what happens. One touchdown, and this game is all tied up again, and now the momentum is back to even, actually favoring North Carolina State. When you get in the red zone, you have to be able to score touchdowns. North Carolina State did. Mississippi State has not been able to.
Terry Harvey with that big third down run, then the two-point conversion. It'll be taken by one of the young men at the 20. And a good return once again to the outside. All the way across the 35. Mississippi State bringing it back. Tony Buchalter, a freshman fullback out of Daleville, Alabama, with a 27-yard return. And that is the final play of the third quarter. So all the momentum now with North Carolina State. After 3, it's tied at 21. The first play of the fourth quarter brings out the first punt of the game for Mississippi State in the contest. Joel Myers, Todd Blackledge, and Dr. Jerry Punch back at the 95 Peach Bowl at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Andy Russ, the sophomore from Nashville, getting ready to punt it away to Brian Fitzgerald. 9 plays and 12 yards offensively with no first downs from Mississippi State in the third quarter, but they had 8 points in the third quarter because of the turnovers. Fitzgerald lets it go and gets a break. Everything going the Wolfpack's way right now. The numbers through 3. And the biggest surprise, of course, North Carolina State with more rushing yardage than Mississippi State behind that huge offensive line for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, ever since they've gotten over the couple bumble plays in their special teams, the offensive line and the backs blocking for North Carolina State have really kind of taken over the momentum at the line of scrimmage.
Second, a little less than 5. The play fake. That'll freeze him with Stevens. And what a pop. Grissett held on. Jimmy Grissett turning it on all the way inside the 15. Has this game ever turned around for the Wolfpack? 62 yards on the reception.
Take a look at this now as you watch the play. They're going to go play action. He actually had Adrian Hill running a post pattern deep who was open. He went to the underneath the in route, and there's 3 defenders right there. It's a good hit at the point of contact by Andre Bennett, the free safety, but credit Grissett for just staying on his feet and turning about a 15-yard route into a huge play for the Wolfpack.
That's where a lot of receivers get those alligator arms, don't they?
That's right.
Over the middle.
You know, if a receiver does that, a quarterback has so much confidence. If he'll go over the middle and make that catch for you, you better believe that when you get down around the end zone, that quarterback will give you an extra look because you make the tough catch for him over the middle.
And what a bullet from the quarterback, Terry Harvey.
Terry Harvey, when he throws on rhythm, and look at the protection. Not a white shirt around him. He can stand in there, threads the needle with the throw, and then Grissett does a great job busting out of the arm tackle and taking it down inside the 20.
You think he was 60 feet 6 inches away from home plate with that kind of throw. Tremaine Stevens belts into the backfield, still leans for a couple. Harvey now 10 of 14 for 140 yards. And if you joined us a little bit late tonight, Terry Harvey, a phenomenal baseball pitcher for the Wolfpack baseball team. No hit Florida State last year at Florida State.
and actually has been drafted 3 times in his career. Most recently in the '94 draft. He was drafted by the Texas Rangers in the 11th round. He's turned it down every year that he's been drafted. And at this point, House said in the press conference this week, hey, after I've been through all that I've been through, I'm not going to quit football with 1 year left. After all I put up with, I'm going to go ahead and play my 4th year and then maybe play baseball afterwards.
He's back in his neck of the woods. Grew up just outside of the Atlanta area. And they run the option. This time Carlos King cuts it back inside. Touchdown, North Carolina State. Turned around for the Wolfpack.
We worried at the top of the show about would the defense of North Carolina State get fatigued in this ball game. We are seeing a very tired Mississippi State defense now in the second half of this football game. Earlier in the ball game, when North Carolina State ran the option, Mississippi State was all over it, right on their assignments. Who had the quarterback? Who had the back? Look at Dwayne Curry walking off with the aid of a couple trainers. Both he and Mike James came hobbling off the field on that play. Late in the game now as the option, watch, it's not being defended nearly as well. Quarterback is defended, but nobody's there for the pitch. The inside linebackers aren't scraping across to make the play. And nobody hits Carlos King. Watch Adrian Hill. Look at the position as he uses his feet and just keeps moving his body to stay in position to help his guy get into the end zone.
Nice kick-out block as well by Dallas Dickerson, the tight end. Viditic for the extra point try. And the Wolfpack now with 15 unanswered points, lead it by 7. 13:06 left in the contest. The Wolfpack have the lead once again. Total turnaround for the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. They were dominant over the first 7-8 minutes of the third quarter, got it back together over the final 7.5 minutes of the third, and now what a start of the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Moulds waiting back around the 10-yard line. Viditic keeps it over to the near side, though, to Kevin McGee. He brings it back from the 3. And a huge hole for McGee. McGee all the way to the midfield stripe into Wolfpack territory at the 49. And we were told coming in that the coverage on the kicks was suspect for North Carolina State. Bowie and Davis have really been quiet in the second half after a solid first half, combining for 93 yards.
They just haven't had you mentioned it earlier, the rhythm that they had offensively in the first half. They were just kind of moving in sync. They were running well. They were throwing well. They just have been really out of rhythm here in the second half of the ball game.
6:48 remaining. Moulds the motion man, the forgotten one. And Bowie tripped up in the backfield. John Rissler got him around the ankles, wouldn't let him go. He's a junior from Sarasota, Florida.
John Rissler has had his hands full all evening, going head up against Kendall Watkins, the 300-pound tight end from Mississippi State. We haven't called his name too much because he's just doing the best he can, holding his own against a very good blocking tight end. That time he got good penetration and made the play in the backfield.
Very bright young man with a 3.3 grade point average in business management, a member of the ACC's all-academic team. He comes up with a big drop on first down. The ultimate for the Wolfpack, second and long for Mississippi State, second and a dozen. Tate with a play fake. He's got his man wide open. McCrary out of the backfield for the first down. Serious field position now for Mississippi State with 6 minutes left in the contest. 21 yards on the catch.
Nice job. Good play called by Bruce Arians. You see all the commitment now. He's going to find the fullback. Look at these linebackers looking in. They're going to slip the fullback right down the middle of the field. Watch the linebackers go with the play fake. See him step into the play fake. Then they turn, but by that time it's too late. McCrary's already by him and down the hash mark for the nice touch pass by Derek Tate. Good call by Bruce Arians, slipping the fullback down the middle of the field.
You knew they wanted to go to the senior from Naples, Florida. The fullback McCrary came at the contest, second on the squad in catches. And Bowie belted right at the line, gets a yard. And that is it. They've done an outstanding job of stopping the running game of Mississippi State. Clock moving inside of 5.5 minutes left for Jackie Sherrill's squad. Down by 7. McGee is bringing in the play. And when we've seen McGee in there, we've seen either a gadget or a screen pass. He's the one they love to run on the screenplay. He's a redshirt freshman up Crawford, Mississippi. He's a single set in the backfield as they put McCrary in a wingback spot. 2nd and 9. Tate for Moulds. Almost a great grab. Moulds ran out of room, though, up against William Strong, the quarterback, who did a fine job.
You know, Ken Pettis told us that William Strong was an outstanding cover guy, and he's really shown it tonight in the situations where he's had the one-on-one matchup with Moulds. He's done a nice job. Watch what he does on this one. He uses the sideline as an extra defender. He just kind of keeps using his body, forcing Moulds to the sideline. Even if Eric makes that catch, he's not going to get his foot down inbounds for the touchdown. So good job by William Strong, knowing that he's got some room to work with the sideline as a help.
Almost hard to believe inside of 5 minutes to play, and Moulds still doesn't have a catch in this contest. 3rd and 9. Red zone problems. Will they continue? Overshoots McGee. So now 4th and 9 for the Bulldogs.
Derek Tate didn't help that play at all. When you want to run a screen as a quarterback, you have to try to sell it a little bit. You want to set and you want to try to sell it, get the rush to come at you. That time he just kind of kept drifting back. Watch Tate. He's showing screen all the way. He never sets his feet. And North Carolina State does a nice job finding the play and reading the screen, getting the deflection.
It's going to be a 30-yard field goal try for Tim Rogers. He's been most of the offense tonight. He's 4 for 5. And he's now 5 for 6. A 30-yard field goal makes it a 4-point contest. Jackie Sherrill looking up at the board. He's only got 1 timeout left. Don't forget about that. A couple of first downs could really do a number on their chances. It's a 28-24 lead for North Carolina State with 4:47 left in the contest. Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator from Mississippi State, with a very frustrating night with all the opportunities they failed to capitalize on, especially at the outset of the 3rd quarter when they really could have opened up a big cushion.
Bruce really knows the importance of the red zone. He was a running back coach for the Kansas City Chiefs for several years, was in pro football, and you learn that touchdowns just add up so much faster than field goals. When you have to settle for field goals, it allows that other team to stay right in the ballgame. You never have that sense that you can put a team away if you can't stick it in the end zone.
Andy Russ kicks it away and gets a good one away. Whitted coming over. It should stay right there and does so. A wise decision for a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. That young man has to be the most frustrated in the entire building tonight. Eric Moulds, one of the best in the SEC, has not been able to come up with a reception. 2nd and 10. The fullback Carlos King. You got 2. And now Mississippi State. Stop the clock. No, it continues to run inside of 4.5 minutes to play.
Nice play by Paul Lacoste, number 20, who's in there for Dwayne Curry at the inside linebacker position. He's getting a feel for the game now. That time he really bulked up and made a nice play against the fullback, stopping that run for very short yardage.
Huge play now for the Bulldog defense. 3rd and 8. Ryan Fitzgerald setting up, coming in with a play over the wingback. They keep Carlos King, the only one in the backfield behind Harvey. They're looking at King in the flat. And a good job by the linebacker on that side.
Great play by Scott Gavita, number 26. He's a senior. He's one of those guys that's too small really to play linebacker, but he's a very smart player, and he's good in these situations.
He was hurt late in the 3rd quarter. He got back in there, though. Remember what Bill Clay told us? I almost lost my job over keeping Scott Gamina in his position because he's too small to be there. Gamina and Mike James, undersized linebackers, but the defensive coordinator stayed with them.
Yeah, and they're very helpful in the nickel situations like that because you don't have to substitute and put a new guy into the game because they're used to playing out there in space like a defensive back. That time, Gamina, great form on the outside, keeping his position, making the tackle.
Now they go after Robson again. They set up for the return, and Robson gets good hang time on this one as it's taken by Ewell back at the 35. So an outstanding putt in the clutch. A 43-yarder by the senior from New Bern, North Carolina. Here it comes the big drive from Mississippi State when we come back with 3 minutes left. Thousands of fans here for North Carolina State as well as Mississippi State right now. The fans for the Wolfpack trying to make as much noise as possible. Derek Tate tries to direct a game-winning drive for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. 1st and 10 from the 35. Tate has time, and he's got a first down to the midfield stripe to Chris Jones. Finally set his feet and took his time going over the middle.
Take a look at Carl Reeves now working on the best offensive lineman on the Mississippi State team, Jesse James. He could be a high draft pick, but just the quickness of Carl Reeves. Good work by James just to wheel back and get a headgear in front of the legs of Reeves, but Carl Reeves has great quickness, and he really explodes off the line of scrimmage.
Tate out of the shotgun on 1st and 10 with pressure. First catch of the night for Moulds. It's a 5-yarder to the 45. The clock continues to move inside of 2.5 minutes to play. North Carolina State leading by 4.
Well, it was a long time in coming for Eric Moulds, but he finally gets a catch. Derek Tate under pressure again, throws a high ball, but you see the leaping ability. 45-inch vertical jump Eric Moulds has. He could have been a great basketball player in college as well, but has a great future, I think, as a wide receiver. First of the night, and if you're Jackie Sherrill, you don't want him to end with one catch. You got to get him the ball some more.
2nd and 5, middle screen. McGee gets away. McGee has a first down and then some. All the way down inside the 28. They told us to watch McGee on the screen, and they've been going in his direction every time they try to run that play.
Reeves worked on the big left tackle, James, a play ago. This time he's on Melvin Hayes, the right tackle. Melvin Hayes gets a big paw on him and kind of pushes him down to the ground, and it falls on him. But watch the perfect execution of the middle screen. Nice block by Jason Wisner. Number 66 opens it up in the middle.
Good pass for Jones off the mark. That'll stop the clock now with 1:45 left and a flag down on the play as well.
Depending on the play,
face mask call.
This game really belongs to Derek Tate right now. I mean, he led his team back to 2 come-from-behind last-minute wins earlier in the season against Tennessee and South Carolina. So Jackie Sherrill and this offensive team knows that this man can do it, but he's got to just kind of put behind him and put out of his memory anything that happened in the first 3.5 quarters of this game where he didn't make the throws, and he's got to just focus on right now. 1:45 left.
Derek Tate had 14 touchdown passes this year for Mississippi State, the 2nd highest total for a single season in Bulldog history. So he's had a great deal of success in their 8-3 campaign. Let's not forget, as we saw Jackie Sherrill on the sideline, what he has meant to the Bulldog program as they take it all the way back to the 45, and that's a huge blow, a shot at the face mask on the offensive line. But over the last 4 years in SEC play, they've been 15-15-1 under Sherrill. The previous 4 years, 3-28 in conference play. It is now 1st and 29. Tate with time has Jones. It's popped up and almost picked off. Almost coming up with the pick was Damon Weiche, the freshman from Camden, New Jersey. That stops it with 1:40 left.
Pretty good throw that time by Derek Tate as he's throwing the in route, looking off to his right. He's looking to Moulds first, comes back across the field. That ball is right there, and you mentioned the alligator arms a little bit earlier in the ball game. Chris Jones that time looking for the free safety, Weiche, to find out where he was. Didn't make the catch.
2nd and 29 outside of the 45 of the Wolfpack. Don't forget, only 1 timeout left for Mississippi State. Tate for the tight end. It's down to the 36. Taking it in that time. Michael Brown. The hurry up on 3rd and long. Now it is 3rd and 19 after completion for 10. Pocket holds up well, and Tate overthrows Yule by a big margin. So here it comes for Mississippi State. As you can see, Mike O'Kane, it all boils down to 1 play for his defensive unit.
Surprisingly, on that 3rd down play, a critical 3rd down and long play, Eric Moulds wasn't even in the ball game. He's coming in now for the 4th down play.
The ball game boils down to the next play for Mississippi State. We'll be right back at the Peach Bowl. Here it is, 3rd and 19 from the 36 with Tate out of the shotgun. Tate with time, going for Moulds, and it's incomplete.
Great job by the linebackers for North Carolina State, getting a good drop, getting a very deep drop, knowing that they could give up any play inside of 20 yards. They got great drops on the zone defense. They forced the throw to come up over the top, and they were there to make the deflection.
The orange bath for Mike O'Kane. Tough second half for Derek Tate and the Bulldogs. Put Jimmy Grissett way back to ensure against a turnover. A snap for Harvey.
Take a look at the play again. See the deep drop by Damian Covington. He's going to go all the way back. He's 20 yards downfield and gets a hand on the football. That is great work by the middle linebacker, Damian Covington. Tried to run Moulds on the inside route. He was the guy to try to go to, but a great play by the senior linebacker, Damian Covington, as Carl Reeves, who has played a whale of a second half, celebrates the victory.
They knew where they wanted to go. They had 3 around Eric Moulds. One more snap will do it. And the Wolfpack of North Carolina State prevail in the 95 Peach Bowl.
What a job coaching this guy has done. Taking over a program under duress. Mike O'Kane has done a fabulous job as the head coach of the Wolfpack.
Tough night for Eric Moulds, a junior from Bluesdale, Mississippi. Everything was going Mississippi State's way early in the 3rd quarter. They could not capitalize on their opportunities, and then North Carolina State put together 2 long drives and took over and shifted the momentum. Now for Todd Blackledge, Dr. Jerry Punch, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks for joining us once again. Happy New Year, everybody, and so long from Atlanta, Georgia.